Okay, having re-dried the bike after that little downpour, which is now stopped annoyingly, and moved it back into the shed, we are going to finish the touch-up on the bike now that it's in the shed. This, as you may have noticed, has some blemishes on it here, just where I've touched the bike moving it in. Some oil, don't know if you can make them out, little oily fingerprints, which can be rubbed off, but the easiest way to move them is just to get some of that tar remover that I was telling you about. Just a tiny amount, you literally, it's all you need, and just a bit of rag, and you just get the corner of it. I was going to cut some of it off, but I can't be bothered. Just get some on the rag and just literally just touch it against the bike. Just look at that, it just wipes straight off and leaves it beautifully white and blemish free. You can just chase those marks away with the rag, and there we go. So that removes all your imperfections that you might have picked up moving the bike while cleaning it. Just gradually work your way around and pick up any bits you've missed and clean them off. Now that your bike is clean and dry, you want to, obviously that back wheel's a mess, but I'm not going to bother because it's getting ridden down to its owner again tonight, and there's no point cleaning that wheel after I've just cleaned it once already. It's just going to end up a mess again, especially since I'm going to be putting fresh oil on the chain. Before we polish this stuff, black plastics, any sort of coarse matte finish surfaces such as this backrest, this, I wouldn't recommend putting it on your seat as it can make them a bit slippy if they're not real leather, but anything like your indicators, your cables and everything, and down here in your clocks, it's perfect for bringing it up a bit. What I like to do is use a dirty bit of rag like this, just something that you're not going to worry too much about. This stuff's really thick because it's a gel, and it can take some getting out of the bottle, but once it's out, it's great stuff. It smells awful though. So your mirrors, just the plastic backing on them really. It just helps them resist dirt and grime and water, and it stops them from fading or brings them back up from being faded if they have done. You know, a very fine amount, just spread it on with some moderation. Bar ends, etc. Switch gear, just makes them resist water and stuff. Gets rid of any fading or bleaching to the plastics and rubbers and metals. It's quite difficult to apply it though if there's any residual moisture left on the surface. Now, I keep hitting my head on things because I'm not used to having such a big fat head with a helmet on. So once you've coated all your rubbery, plasticky, shiny bits, it's easy enough to do. So you get the idea with that. So let's pop those back up there. I'm not obviously showing you the full clean because I do stuff like disc brake cleaner and everything while I'm with that. Two kinds of polish that I use, depending on the colour of the paint. If it's dark, I'll use Ultra Deep Shine. If it's bright colours, I'll use this. Because this bike's like really dark black, blackish blue in places, I'm going to use Deep Shine for that. Towards the back, I'll use the red stuff. Just to show you, I have cleaned the bike, but as you can see, it's got little streaks and imperfections all across it where I used the chamois. Just little blotches of oil and stuff that you can't necessarily get off. But the polish will see to that. But as you can see from that, totally immaculately flawless thanks to that tar remover stuff, because that is just magic. Cannot recommend a better product than that. Swear by the stuff. So if you've got white wheels or a white bike, it's a must-have. So we're going to start by basically coating the whole bike in a layer of polish. You want the dirtier of your two rags, or the more heavily soiled. Try not to have any fibres on it when you start, because otherwise they'll end up on the bike in the polish. They're a bitch to get out. Just fold your cloth over a couple of times. For large surface areas such as fairings, petrol tanks, etc., you want a reasonably generous amount, something like that, about the size of a kidney bean. You just want to fold your cloth over a bit, get a good spread on the cloth, and then just spread it liberally across the paintwork, on and around. Try and avoid any areas that don't respond well to polishing, such as petrol caps or metal work, such as the frame, depending on the materials it's made of, or if it has a cover on it. No buffing yet, you're just smearing polish over the paintwork. Get a good cover and get a good matte finish to the directional matte finish to the tank. Try and get everything going in the same direction where possible, where practical. So it should look something like that once you've polished it, once you've got polish on it rather, sort of like a streaky look to it. Ow. Just headbutted the sign again. We've waived the parking restrictions just for today for Project Triz's bike. So yeah, you want basically this streaked finish. You're going to leave that for a few minutes to set. It will go sort of dry and chalky, and that's exactly what you want. You just want to make sure that you've got plenty of polish though on your cloth, and keep a good even application of it. Try not to get it on the lenses, but there is a tip for getting that off if it does happen. I'll show you that when I'm up to that point. So you just want to quickly whiz around the bike, get a good coating of polish as you go. I say don't worry if you do go over onto your screen or your headlight. There is a way of getting that off without making it go scarmy or badly finished. I like to do bikes by panels. It's a good way of keeping track of where you're up to and what you've done. So that's that front fender panel. So now we're going to do this side fairing. And as you notice, because these are darker colours, I'm using the darker polish. Gives it a glossier, deeper shine to the bike when it's done. Oh, my hands and knees for this bike. Obviously you don't have to go into as much OCD over the top attention to detail as I do, but because this is Project Triz's bike and it's not my own, I want to, I want to at least do a special job of it and make it look the tits. This one's going to be a bit difficult, this rear hugger. Personally, I'd probably just pop it off to clean it myself, but it's not my bike, so I'll leave that on. That's this side fairing done, front tank. I'm going to go around the other side and do that. I'll do that rear hugger and then we'll switch to the brighter polish for the white area on the back of the bike. So that's, that's the gist of it. You got good coating and there you go. You got polish pretty much everywhere, including this rear hugger. So you just want to give that a good smudge of the stuff. Shouldn't need too much this because it's pretty clean to start with. Polish just protects your paintwork against scratches and so on by building up a layer of gloss on it and maintaining the current gloss that's on there. That'll do. Right, so we'll switch to the brighter one. We'll just quickly buff that back hugger. Not back hugger. We'll quickly buff this back tail up. Never forget to shake your polish. Give it a good shake, else it comes out like fucking tap water. Good spread. The difference between this and the deep shine stuff is that this is it's good at highlighting brighter colours such as reds or yellows or whites. That deep shine, well, it's like using dark boot polish or light boot polish. It highlights the colour appropriately depending on what it is. In this case, white. Okay, so we've got a good coating of polish across the majority of the bike, if not all of it. This cloth, don't use it again, well, until you've washed it, or you're going to put more polish on. That is your polish on cloth only. You want one that looks a bit fluffier like this for polishing off. Again, try and get any loose fibres and stuff out of it before you start polishing. Find your good side, and let's begin. So you want to just start off with circular motions on your polish, buffing outwards from one point of reference. You'll literally be able to feel the friction in the surface fade as you polish because it starts off with like a matte feel to it, and then as you're buffing it'll go smooth and silky and it'll just glide over the paintwork and you'll know that it's polished. Obviously once you've got it off you buff it a bit faster just to give it that really good with a lighter touch. Buff it faster. Start off hard in circular motions and then lightly buff the surface up to a mirror finish, something like this. You can probably see my face. Like an alien. I'd like to say I look like a dragon, but no, I look like a spastic. So just polish it all up, focusing on any particularly tarnished spots of the bike. Turn your cloth regularly as well, just to prevent any build-up of moisture or polish on the surface of the cloth. And you can probably already, well hopefully, you can already see it's a marked improvement on what it was prior to polishing. This is hot work, working with a crash helmet on, I have to say that. I don't want to make a habit out of it, even if it is winter. So there we go. One blemish-free mirror finish petrol tank. Beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. I like to go in order with the parts that I polish, so I'm going to follow around to the front fairing now and do this area. I try not to miss any, because there's nothing worse than that chalky white powder which is polish residue left on when you've missed bits. It really does let the bike down. This is another reason why I like this LED work light. It makes polish stand out if you've missed it. These technical bits of the bike always take longer to clean, as you'll find moisture trapped in areas such as underneath screws or fairing bolts that comes out while you're buffing, and it causes the polish to streak, and you just got to keep polishing and buffing until it's all worked in with the polish, lest you end up with a streaky finish. I always find these intakes a bitch to do because these are always full of water. No matter how hard you polish them or dry them out. Case in point right there. That looks miles better. Now, I don't know if my battery will last long enough, but all these little speckles are actually bugs that have been washed off over the years. And there is a trick getting those off. Well, at least some of them tarnishes. And if my battery lasts long enough on the camera, I'll show you that when I'm done. But I'm just trying to cover everything before my battery dies. Okay, so that's with your front fairing done and your tank. I'm sure you can already see, well, I'd hope you would. I'm sure you can see a marked improvement. So let's do the side fairing. And there we go. That is one side of the bike polished up to a shine. Looks good, doesn't it? So we're just going to move around to the other side and I'll quickly polish that side up and then we'll come to this tail fairing piece. This tail section, I'm going to turn the cloth again just to keep it clean. Start from the top and work downwards towards the rear hugger. And this is, you know, this is pretty much the basics of any clean. I'm sure many of you watching already know how to do all of this, but some of you were asking, so I'm just showing you my way of doing it. I said that a bit sort of, oh, my way is best way. No, just showing you my way of doing it. If you want to copy it, feel free. Let me know what the results are. Send me pictures on my Facebook page. Send me pictures, and or Twitter. You can send it to my twat, and I'll look at them on there and offer my sexual approvings. Yeah, just keep work top down. Start with circular buffing, and then just go to high speed, quick light buffing to bring it up to a shine. The end result should look something like that. I feel like I'm doing an art attack, for fuck's sake. Neil, or whatever his name was. Anyone ever watched that show? Along with the Chuckle Brothers. There's some nostalgia for you. Those of you in the 30 to 20 range. I find cleaning bikes quite therapeutic. Medicine for the soul. I'm going to have to sort this rear hugger out. It's coming loose. I didn't break it, honest. It was like that when I got it. Honestly, officer, that looks great. Now that the bike has been polished up, you just want to give the chain a once over with some chain lube. This is the order I do stuff in anyway. You could do the chain first before polishing the bike. It's up to you. So get your chain lube. There's not much left in this can. I might have to use a new one. And there we are. Probably just give that a bit more. I have to use the other can because this one's empty now. So what you're wanting for is just a good thick coating of oil. And there isn't really such a thing as too much, but obviously if you do put a lot on, it's going to go on you underneath your hugger, around your bodywork, on your wheel, and then you're going to have a bit of a bitch of a bike to clean up afterwards. But I prefer a well lubricated chain to a stretched one. So that's nicely oiled up now, and that'll work itself in next time you ride the bike. Most people would stop here because that is a clean bike, though I do like to do a bit of finishing work. I like this rapid detailer stuff, but I don't really have much of it left. You just spray a very fine mist of it over the bike and get your polishing cloth. It smells great, this stuff as well. I love the smell of it. And just buff it in to anything, plastics, whatever. It's an all-purpose shiner, and it just gives it that extra sparkle over what a polish can give. That is pretty much everything. If I think of anything else, I'll edit it in. And look at that screen, look how shiny that's gone. This is the stuff I'm on about. If you get some of that bumper gel on anywhere on your bike you don't want it to be on, this stuff shifts it brilliantly. It doesn't leave any streaks or scarms or anything, and it just evaporates away to leave a streak-free finish if you buff it up well. I only really apply this to major parts of the bike that people are going to see, such as plastics and outer fairings. And there we are, one super shiny bike. So there you have it. If you've got any questions, just pop them in the comment box below. I'll be happy to respond to any level of detail you want. If you live locally to me, I'll do your bike for you, for a fee, obviously, £15 or so. And you can get a finish like this if you want, but there you go. One very clean bike, right down to the tiny, finer details. If you get any scarms on your mirrors, also this rapid shine stuff's great at getting it off. Job well done. Project Triz, it's coming back your way.